Hello everyone! So today we're playing with makeup and we are starting with a bare face and kind of going through the whole thing. It may be a lengthy video, but that's just what it's like when you sit down with friends and your girlfriends and you just play with makeup. You lose track of time, and I had no specific direction of what I wanted to do look-wise. This is just what I ended up doing, trying some things, using a few new Clinique holiday products, a few recommendations that I got in the mail that I ordered from you guys that I am trying today, and some other recommendations from previous videos, kind of mixing a good mix of high and low in today's video, which I like. I've been doing a lot of drugstore affordable makeup, which I absolutely love because it doesn't break the bank, and drugstore makeup is really great. And I've discovered so many favorite products in this process of trying your recommendations and exploring more of what the drugstore has to offer, and I have been so pleased with the things that I have tried. But today's video is a mixture of high and low, so you'll see a little bit of everything, and I hope that you will enjoy it. And let's just play with makeup. So I'm going with the Soft Focus Glow, and I've talked about this before. If you've seen my videos, I don't think I need to go into any more detail about this, but I do like this product. And I've been using this kind of like somewhat in place of my primer. I like the e.l.f. the Jelly Pop Primer, but I've been doing this instead, and it's actually quite nice. I'm going to go in with the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. It is dark and gloomy, so my video might seem a little darker than usual, but that's because it's dark outside. And then I'm just gonna go for it. We're done. Video's over. No, I'm kidding. I need a lot of help today. Like, my skin is a little bit more flushed and more redness. So I'm gonna go a little extra today. Alright, so now for concealer, I was given the recommendation to try the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I have used the concealer before, this formula, many, many years ago. I think my son was little, if I remember correctly, so it's been some time. I don't know if the formula is still the same or if they've changed it in any way. So I got the shade 10 Fair, and it still has a seal on it. I have not even tried this. And then I thought, why not try a darker concealer for like a cream bronzer contour kind of situation? And I decided to get the same concealer but in the shade 40, which is Caramel. It looks a little too warm probably. I just couldn't decide on the darker shades that they offered. They do have a great range of tones to choose from, by the way, if you're interested. And it's inexpensive. I think these were less than $6. So I'm excited to try this and see if it's actually the same or if it's different. So I'm just gonna do one of these numbers. I think before I was using the light shade, which looking at it, looking back now, I think that I should have been using Fair the whole time. And use the point of my sponge. I use a different cleanser, a different soap I should say, and it didn't really take off the stains very well. So that's why my sponge looks dirty. Before beginning my makeup, I usually like to have a very clean sponge, especially because I am acne prone, and I feel like if I don't have a clean sponge, it's gonna cause me to break out even more. So when I was looking for this concealer, I saw that it was a dupe for the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I forget what the name is, but I'm not quite sure because it's been a while since I used the NARS one. I think I used that way back in the day. I do like the shade. I think that the Fair works, but I do think that I need more. More is more. So I was going to ask you guys, since you guys have given me so many great recommendations, I figured, why not ask you guys? You guys are my friends after all, so I need a good recommendation for a very good hand cream because my hands are destroyed from using dish soap as my hand soap. I ran out and I had a really bad reaction to the dish soap, and it was like a cheapo brand that we had gotten from the regular grocery store. I normally get my dish soap from Costco or Sam's Club in like a large size, and I wasn't going to send my husband to the store just for a container of dish soap. I was going to wait until we went to do our normal runs for Costco and Sam's. And so I used the dish soap. I was like, oh, he's going to go tomorrow, so, you know, with just one day of using it. I don't know what it was, and I guess that's what I get for using that. I should have just busted out like a bar soap or something that I have a stash of that I could have been using instead. But that dish soap really wrecked my hands. It was like a store brand. And I think I might even try to use some of that as a, I guess like a spot concealer, if you will, over this little mark. I'm just going to use my number 7 loose setting powder to set under my eyes really quickly before this creases, and then to just lightly go over my cheek area where I put a little extra foundation. I don't want that to move too much. Bronzer. I have that concealer, the same one that fit me in that shade, but I also picked up again the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. You guys have talked about this before. I have used this before. I bought a mini size several months ago from Target. I ordered it online. That mini size was smaller than an eyeshadow. It was a joke. It almost looked like a free gift with purchase. I was like, well, what's the point? So I should have just ordered the full size to begin with. But I see that they have revamped their packaging, and it's still, I can smell it. It smells amazing, and it reminds me of summer. I have it in the shade just called Bronzer. They do have a couple more shades. I remember when they first came out, they didn't offer this many options as they do now, which is amazing how they've expanded their range of colors. So I'm going to just take a little bit of that with my Real Techniques blush brush. Love this. And I'm just going to go for it. It does come with an applicator, but honestly, I've never really used the applicator that it came with for application. I just would prefer my brushes. I ordered a brush roll, a new one, from ColourPop. I want to try their brushes. It was on sale, so that'll be coming up soon, hopefully in the next week or two, depending on how quickly they ship their orders. I don't remember how long they take for orders. Such a good bronzer, gosh. I love this. I forgot how amazing this bronzer is. So if you sent the recommendation, thank you. It's a good one. Definitely recommend. So I guess we'll use this in a different video, because I think if I put this on over that bronzer, I think it's going to be a little too much. So I'm going to just, we're just not going to go there. So I'm going to do my eyeshadow primer, Milani. I'm going to apply this off camera, and I'm also going to do my brows because they need some help. And then we're going to do something with the eyes. All right, so I'm back. Brows are done, filled in, good to go. I am surprised. I feel like the color is a little dark, but it's probably because I don't have much going on with the eyes. But I will tell you what I used. It's the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. It's like $2. They claim it to be America's #1 brow pencil, so I ordered this a couple months back. And I think I got the darkest shade, so maybe a shade lighter will probably be a little bit better. But I got the job done, and it was $2. So it goes to show that you don't have to spend a fortune on a brow product to get a brow. Okay? I got some of the Clinique stuff. We all know holiday collections are coming out and are available for purchase now. Sneak peeks have been happening, and it's all very exciting. So I saw that Clinique had come out with some blush palettes in the Cheek Pop formula, which I personally have never tried. I've always wanted to try them. It's absolutely beautiful what they look like. I mean, come on. Does this not look gorgeous? Look at how beautiful. It's almost too pretty to use. It's one of those products that I'm just like, I don't know if I want to use it and mess it up. But look at how beautiful. I will put the names of the colors on the screen, but this looks so beautiful. And I saw that they had two, so what did I do? I ordered the other one. This one doesn't look very holiday-ish. This one has that dark tone and also some glitter on it. This one just looks like regular. It's plastic. Look at this. Look at how beautiful these look. And I want to say most of these in both of them are permanent. I think there might be one in each palette that is limited edition or just specific for this palette. And I want to say for this one, it's the gold. I think I'm going to start with this light shade here and do that first on my cheek and see how that looks. Oh, that's pretty. It's soft and just very, very light. And they also give you a mirror. I still have the little plastic piece that goes over the mirror. But that is just so nice. Like, that is the perfect everyday color. And you can get some of these individually. I want to say these were $29, $26, $29. I'll put it down in the description box. It's something in that range. I know it's less than $30 for sure, which I think is really great, especially for a blush palette. Oh, that is so pretty. I love this. I love these. So I think I'm going to go on with this one here as a topper highlight kind of situation. And I'm going to use a Morphe E8 brush because my fan brush for highlighting is dirty. So I'm hoping that this dense brush, it doesn't pick up too much, but we'll see. Maybe not. And it has a kind of satiny vibe to it. It's not overly shimmery. There's no glitter in these. I think the only one that looks quite shimmery and very distinctive shimmer is this gold in the red palette. I have the name of it. I can't remember the name of this palette, but this is part of their holiday collection. I think that's the only one that's going to be more shimmery. And this one isn't really showing up as a highlighter. So for some highlight, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use this gold because that first one that I tried didn't show up with shimmer or anything like that. I see a little bit of something, but it's not quite shimmery like a highlighter is. So I'm going to go in with this gold here. And I think this one is specific to just this palette. So unfortunately, if you want this specific gold, it has to be purchased like this in this configuration that you see. And it shows up, you can probably see, it's very, very soft. So if you like softer highlights, this kind of looked intimidating. I'm not going to lie. When I saw this, I'm like, whoa, that is gold. I don't normally ever put this kind of tone on my face as a highlighter. And I immediately thought of those who have medium skin, tan, and deep skin tones would absolutely look amazing with something like this on the tops of their cheekbone, bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow, brow highlight. I think that that would look really great. But going onto my skin with something so dense brush-wise, it's not showing up like gold like you see here. It's very, very soft, and I actually really like that. Let's add a little bit more. Load up the brush. That's beautiful. I also got this one too. This is the Powder Pop Flower Highlighter in Lunar Pop. And this just looks so beautiful. Like, I don't even want to put my brush in there. Look at how beautiful it is with the flowers. How gorgeous. Like, why can't all of our powder products have beautiful imprints like this, right? So that might be something that I will use in a different video because I feel like this is good where I'm at right now. I'm going to put a little bit of that gold down my nose, here, just the typical highlighting areas. So for my eyes, I already have the Milani primer on, and I'm going to use some of these colors on my eyes. So I'm going to go in with this light shade here in this pan that I tried as highlight. It didn't show up too much as a highlighter. So I'm going to use a Real Techniques brush. This is the Instapop brush. It's angled, and it comes in a set of two. One is large and one is smaller, and I really like these brushes. And I'm going to take this color and load up my brush. As you can see, it's a very soft, like nudish pink color. It's not super, super pink, but it's not so pale that it may not show up on the lid. So I'm going to take that and just kind of apply that to my lid area. And this is a very dense brush, so it does pick up quite a bit. And I'm going to kind of wedge that right into my crease area. And this is like a very soft, like pink color. So I wanted to ask if any of you have used Natasha Denona eyeshadows, because I want to order one of her smaller ones that are $65 and try them. I've heard amazing things. I've seen the swatches and pictures, and everything looks buttery, soft, smooth, creamy, all the good things that you want in an eyeshadow. But her eyeshadow products are quite expensive. So if you have tried them, I'm thinking about trying the Glam palette. So let me know if you've tried that one. So I'm going to switch to the Morphe E22, and I'm going to go back into this blush palette, and I'm going to use this one here, and I'm going to take that into the crease and see how well that shows up. It's very, very pink, kind of berry looking. I mean, they're blending out really nicely though, so that's a good sign for a blush formula. Alright, so I think I'm going to pull in some shades from the Naked Reloaded palette, and I'm going to use the Bucked shade, which I will show you. It's this one right here. And I'm going to go right into the crease with this, just to kind of start darkening this up. And I'm using a Morphe R37 brush for this. I'm going to switch to a more precise brush and take that same bucked color and go on the lower lash line with it. Then I'm going to switch to a clean crease brush and use the shade called Blur. I think that that is just such a fantastic addition to this palette because it literally helps blur any harsh lines, any edges, and it just sort of perfects your colors in your crease area. And it helps with blending, and it just makes everything so much better. So I'm going around my crease area with that to soften everything a little bit more. And I'm going to take that same color on the very tip of the brush and go underneath that tan shade, the bucked, that I have here on the lower lash line. This rose gold here, Reputation, is calling my name. So I'm going to slap this onto my lid because, you know what, I'm already here, right? So I might as well just do it. I'm going to go in with the Sigma E55 brush. Yes. Love it. It's calling my name, that soft, rosy, kind of golden-y bronze shade. You guys know how much I love the bronze eyeshadows, but this is more of a rose gold that isn't like super pink undertone. And I'm going to take a little bit of that same Reputation on a smaller brush, and I'm going to go on the lower lash line and kind of layer it a little bit over bucked. For my brow highlight, I think I'm going to use Bribe, which is the lightest shade in this palette, and I'm using a Sigma E56 brush. I'm actually going to take that same Bribe and go into the inner corner with it for some brightening action here. So for liner, I think I'm just going to stick with the Reloaded palette and use Endgame, which is the darkest color in the palette, and it is a dark brown. And I'm also going to take a little bit of that on the very tip of the brush and smudge that really close to the root of the lash, putting most of it on this outer corner and slowly fading that towards the inner corner. But I'm not going on in all the way because it is a dark shade and I don't want it to be too dark in the inner corner. So I'm going to tight line with my usual gel liner, and then mascara is going to be my CoverGirl Exhibitionist. I busted another tube of this. This is also something that you guys have enjoyed as well. When I talked about this before, you guys liked it. Some of you tried it based off of my recommendations. It's a very good one from the drugstore, and I'm going to apply 2 coats of this, and then we're going to move on to lips. All right, so mascara is done. Liner did the CoverGirl, also my lower lash line. Now we need to finish the look with lips. I'm going to use my go-to lip liner. This is my Maybelline Color Sensational and Nude Whisper. This is one of my favorites. I love this one, and I like the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, and they're both very similar. So I'm going to line. So for lipstick, I'm going to go in with my Bobbi Brown. This is the Sazan Nude, the crushed lip color. I love this formula. I like to wear it just like this on its own. These two together are really great, and I've been doing that a lot. But I also like to put a little bit of gloss on top. So I'm going to go in with the Milani Keep It Full in Champagne, because this is a favorite of mine, big time. And I just love how it's that final touch. You can do it in the center of the lip or all over like I do. All right, and that is the look completed. I actually really like it. I like the kind of rosy rose gold tones on the eye. I obviously love the lip combo. I've been doing these 3 together often. I've been talking about these products for some time now. They're absolutely, hands down, some of my favorites for creating this lip. I've worn this lip in many, many videos, and I've had many of you ask me what I'm wearing. So this is pretty much the combo. I kind of alternate a little bit with what I use in layer, but for the most part, it's that lip liner and a good gloss. I think that those two are just incredible. And I love the formula of the Bobbi Brown crushed lipstick. It's very, very comfortable to wear. It's not super matte, but not super creamy and too glossy, even though I like a gloss finish. I would prefer that finish in an actual lip gloss versus like a lipstick, so it kind of stays in place more and doesn't kind of drift and travel outside the lip line. So really, really love those products. So check them out if you're interested in those. And I think that the foundation has been working really great. I've been using that, reaching for it more so than some of the other ones. And I think that's a good sign. I think I'm really enjoying the way it looks. I feel like it does make my skin look a little bit more perfected because I do have a lot of skin issues, so I can use a little bit more of a fuller coverage these days. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here, for tuning in for the video and being along through the whole thing if you watched it, and hopefully you found something that you're interested in trying. And also thank you to those of you who have sent in recommendations for your drugstore favorites. If you have any favorites, whether drugstore or high-end, that you recommend to your friends, please let me know what they are. I love hearing from you guys, and you guys have been giving me such great feedback and recommendations, and I appreciate you so much for taking the time to write a comment, to even watch. You could choose anybody else to watch, and for you to be here with me means everything. So thank you so, so much for being you. Have a fabulous day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care.